Welcome back. You're watching NewsX with me, Medha Sharan. Now, Pakistan's Field Marshall Asim Munir in a speech claimed that the country received divine help during the military confrontation with India in May, stating that the assistance was felt during the days of intense fighting that followed Indian strikes on terror targets. In the undated clip, Munir is seen addressing the National Ulema Conference in Islamabad and invoking religious imagery while referring to the conflict that followed India's launch of Operation Sindoor in May after the Pahalgam terror attack. Speaking in Urdu, Munir cited a Quranic verse, "If Allah helps you, none can overcome you," and suggested that Pakistan received unseen support during the hostilities. Listen into what he has said.
अल्लाह की मदद आते हुए देखी, महसूस की, वही अंसुरकुमुल्लाहु फला गालिब लकुम, हमने महसूस किया। तो जो कहा हुआ है ना, इसमें 100% हकीकत।
All right, so we're seeing now that this is what the Pakistani Field Marshal Asim Munir has said, that during the conflict with India in May, Pakistan apparently felt divine intervention during Operation Sindoor. My colleague Ajay Chandyal joins us for more on this. Ajay, we're seeing that the Pakistani Field Marshal has now come in and said that during the war with India, Pakistan received something like a divine intervention.
You know, that was what basically could have, saved Pakistan, and that's why he, is saying this. But the way basically they are saying this thing, that clearly indicates that how much belief they have in their forces, and what has happened during the Operation Sindoor, that have, that was something which the world have seen. How their launch pads, terror headquarters were decimated, how their number of air bases as well as the military stations were targeted after they started targeting the civilians over there. But on what, supreme power Pakistan believe, they have to see, because the world have seen the brutality of the Pakistan, that how they have targeted innocent civilians in Pahalgam, for what they were punished. And that's why we have seen that many of their terror commanders and terrorists as well as soldiers were killed when they were trying to continuously target the innocent civilian, whether it was Pahalgam, whether it was when they were violated ceasefire on the international border in the line of control area, in which several houses were, targeted intentionally by Pakistan.
Ajay, additionally, do we know when this statement was given by Field Marshal Asim Munir?
It's almost, a month, month's time, when he was addressing some people and officials of the Pakistan Army and others. And at that time, he was, while addressing the people, he said so. But, as I said, that it is something which clearly indicates that Pakistani army was totally failed on all the front when it comes to the Indian, Indian attack is concerned, or Indian retaliation on the line of control and the international border is concerned.
All right. So, do we think that this messaging that he has given was perhaps aimed at his at the domestic populace of Pakistan, or was it perhaps a veiled, or was it perhaps something of a statement that he is trying to give to India?
See, it looks that basically Pakistani army chief of all the forces, he basically want to, Asim Munir, he want to basically, thinking, planning for the future course of action, because what sources are saying that Asim Munir is looking for the top chair of Pakistan, because the way he was, promoted from Army Chief to Field Marshal and then the CDS, and now he must be having targets. He's planning for some other targets. That's why he's now becoming religious and other things. But the reality is that Pakistan's brutality on the civilians, Pakistan's Pakistan Army's conduct on the civilians of Pakistan. Even that is really shameful. Number of times they have targeted innocent civilian with the air strike and drone strike. This seems to that he is having some, more targets, more plans for the future, and that's why he's saying so. But the reality is that he basically have failed on all the front, whether it was a retaliation by the Indian forces, whether it was the Indian Army's action during the Operation Sindoor is concerned.
All right. So now in this address, Asim Munir has also drawn heavily on religious themes and has compared modern day Pakistan to the Islamic State established over 1400 years ago. Referring to the Muslim world, he has also said that there are 57 Islamic countries globally, but claimed that Pakistan holds a special status. In this speech, Munir is also said to have addressed security concerns along Pakistan's western borders as well in regards to Afghanistan. Colonel T.P. Tyagi, a defense expert, joins me for more on this. Welcome, sir. Now, Asim Munir has said that Pakistan has experienced divine intervention during the conflict with India back in May after Operation Sindoor. It seems like a top military officer is framing this war in somewhat of a religious context. How would you interpret this, sir?
This can be readily considered. It can be readily considered that Asim Munir is a radicalized person. He always speaks in terms of religion, and that is why he also says that we won the Operation Sindoor because of the God's intervention. Firstly, everything is wrong. The entire world has seen satellite pictures are there, videos are there, personal examples, personal interviews are there to show that 9 of their terrorist launch pads were damaged and 11 of their air bases were also damaged. Some of them are still in ICU. Now, under these conditions, he says that God intervened, I got divine power, and it is our superior ideology, and that is why we succeeded. What is the superior ideology? What is this God intervention? When the war is there and when the rifle is in front of you, Gita nahi padi aati. Now to say that because of Quran and because of Islam we have won and it will always remain on our side, it is only for those common people who do not know how to analyze and how to understand. He is a mystery and totally wrapped in religion.
Additionally, sir, in your opinion, is Asim Munir now trying to expand his grip on power in Pakistan? And does it also seem like through this speech here that he was trying to appeal to the more conservative section of the Pakistani society?
Yes, yes. And by the way, anybody who would have been there in his place would have tried to expand his power, and he has done it. He has done it very nicely and very chalaki ke saath. Means the other army generals, they took the power by force, and he has took the power by constitution. Constitutionally, he has removed the National Command Authority, and in lieu, he has imposed a strategic nuclear command. And the strategic nuclear command will be headed by a military officer. It means that it is under him, and he himself has elevated himself to the position of CDF, defense forces, combined defense forces. Now, Navy, Army, Air Force, they are under him. Nuclear policy and nuclear button are under his hand, and he has become #1 in Pakistan, and it is a good reason that he goes to different countries and meets the civilian head, which ought to have met Shehbaz Sharif, but they are meeting Mullah Munir because he is the head of the country now. So he has expanded and he is continuously trying to expand. But the odds are against him. This I can say that the day Munir has started interfering in the affairs, the entire population of the country is going against him because he has agreed to send his troops to Gaza. And troops to Gaza means that he will be fighting the fighters of Hamas. It means Muslims, he will be fighting Muslims. And that is why the Awam is against. As it is, Tehreek-e-Taliban, Pakistan and Balochistan Liberation Army has taken earth under his feet. He is facing defeat almost every day. And on the top of it, Afghanistan Taliban, which used to be considered as a friend and a strategic depth for Munir, they have become against him. They have removed their friend and put it on the Durrant line. And on the top of it, the India's Operation Sindoor 2 fear and plus the rising in Hind and POK. Now imagine how many odds are against him. So he is trying to consolidate his power. Yes, in the name of God, he will request, God give me the power. But the reality remains. Reality does not move on emotions or does not move on prayers. Reality moves on real power, and power comes from people, not from legislations.
All right, Colonel T.P. Tyagi, thank you so much for sharing your perspective with us here at NewsX.